Hello, my name is Maria Cabral-Jackson, although I go by my first name Jan. My novel is Louis and Marguerite, and I was inspired to write it after a trip to the Abbey of Mont-Saint-Michel in Normandy and a painting of pilgrims crossing the quicksands seeking refuge. I love history and I'm intrigued by what makes people tick, decisions that they make. So I decided to look at more in detail, particularly leprosy and charity in medieval Rouen, and found quite a stark contrast in how people were treated depending on how much coin they had or status. So really this seed was planted, and I decided to look at the lost voices of ordinary men and women and the choices they made and the challenges they were faced with. And here we go, the novel came to life. I will now read and time myself for 3 minutes for the first chapter. Here we go. Louis and Marguerite, Chapter 1, Rouen, 3rd of September 1221. Hurry, Mademoiselle Pigache has summoned you upstairs, the head servant said, hobbling over to the kitchen table, cleaning her brow. Yes, madame, Marguerite said, dusting the dough from her hands on her tunic. She wondered what the mayor's sister, Isabelle Pigache, wanted at this hour. She turned up somewhat unexpectedly. None of the other servants had seen her yet. Marguerite crept up the dark and narrow staircase, carrying the brass oil lamp. She much preferred the warmth of the kitchen's fire. She knocked on the door. Come in and close the door, a man instructed. Marguerite recognized him as soon as she walked into the chamber. It was Aurélien Medicus, a physician who treated the mayor's sweating sickness in the past. He only attended the wealthy merchants and nobles of Rouen. Then someone shuffled, and Marguerite saw a woman with her bare back to her. She looked young, probably not even 20 years old. Mademoiselle Pigache? Marguerite asked. Stand back, the young woman said. Don't look at me. You must grab these and burn them, Aurélien Medicus said, pointing to the pile of clothes on the floor next to the woman. Marguerite nodded. The young girl hid her face. Then another man spoke in a hoarse voice. Now leave us. Forget what you've seen. It was her master, Nicolas Pigache, mayor of Rouen. He waddled over to the chair. His face was flushed. Yes, sir, Marguerite said, picking up the clothes. She closed the door, but listened through the gap. These cankers on her hands, the physician said. There's no mistake. This is beyond our medicine. The priest will know what to do. No, please, Isabelle Pigache said. I know what they'll do to me. I'm not like them. My poor sister, Nicolas Pigache said. You'll be taken care of, I promise. Marguerite carried the clothes to the pit behind the manor. She used a flint and watched the clothes burn in front of her. The night was setting in, and she looked up and met the mayor's prying eyes watching from the upstairs window. She heard the wheels of a carriage coming to a sudden halt. They'd stopped by the barn. There were a few hushed voices. Please, Father Jérôme, I'm not ill, Isabelle Pigache said. Come, child, Father Jérôme said. There's nothing to worry about. Nicolas, brother, don't send me away. Marguerite looked up, but the mayor hid from the window. Come, mademoiselle, Father Jérôme said. All will be well. Marguerite heard the screeching of hinges as the horses pulled the carriage away. The night fell into silence again. What matter of illness was it that the physician saw fit to ask for the aid of a priest instead? The next morning, Marguerite heard a knock on the door. A messenger came from the manor. A simple 3-word message that changed everything. You are dismissed. Thank you. I believe that's the 3 minutes now.